thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished visitors, and welcome guests. The word lab. What are other words that come to mind when you think of lab?
Beaker.
Beaker. Okay?
Dog.
Science.
A dog.
A dog.
Lab.
Ah, okay. What else?
Science.
Science.
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
That frog operation. That frog operation.
That frog operation.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, yes. All right, so how about experiments? How about results? And how about learning? So those are the things that we do typically in a lab, right? We run an experiment, we review the results, and we learn. I am here to tell you that this is a leadership learning lab. So, what do you need when you run an experiment? You need a lab book. Does this look familiar to anyone?
Yes, it does.
What is it? The Competent Leadership Manual. It is our leadership lab book. And in it are 10 projects. These projects focus on a variety of leadership topics, such as planning. Do we do planning in Toastmasters?
Oh, yeah.
You bet we do. How about mentoring? Mentoring is a part of leadership. Motivation. Organization. Those are the types of topics that we in our leadership lab can study. So, and who doesn't need those kind of skills? Not only in Toastmasters, what about in your work environment? Do you not want to organize and plan and motivate? How about in your own family? Anybody have a teenager they might want to motivate? Church? Whatever your organization is. But absolutely we need those kind of skills here at Tampa Toastmasters. So we now have our lab book. How are we going to run an experiment? We know that they're in here. We run them by volunteering for meeting roles. So, see your VP of Education, sign up for Grammarian, sign up for Toastmasters, sign up for a General Evaluator. Whatever role it is, nearly every role on our Toastmasters agenda fits one of these leadership projects. So, you've got a lab, the lab book, and now you're ready to run your experiment. You signed up to be topics master. So, you show up and you're all ready to be topics master. Don't forget your lab book. How about you give that lab book to one of your fellow Toastmasters? And that Toastmaster is going to do what Toastmasters do and support you. They're going to fill out an evaluation. They're going to evaluate you as a leader when you serve the role as topics master. So, let's say this again. You've got a lab, you have your lab book, you've conducted your experiment. Roderick was topics master tonight. He conducted his experiment, and his evaluator will give him written feedback, i.e. the results. So you run your experiment, you review your results, and typically it's what you did well, what you could do better, and that equals learning. You've experimented, you've reviewed your results, and you've learned, because I guarantee you, you're going to have a chance to run that experiment again. Let's take our topics master role. That role is actually in your leadership project 3 or 4 times. See, I think it's under education, it's under planning, it's under organization. So, use your lab book, run those experiments, and learn. So, what do you say about stepping into this lab? Are you all up for it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, a lot of times when we joined Toastmasters, and let me just refresh your memory, when you were inducted, you said, to prepare all my speech and leadership projects to the best of my ability, basing them on projects in the Competent Communication Manual advanced communications manual, or competent leadership manual. So, many times we focus on this one, the competent communication manual, to the detriment of completing the competent leadership manual. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, bring them both, because they are not mutually exclusive. You can make progress in each of these every week or almost every week if that's your goal. And here at Tampa Toastmasters, we strive to excel. Last but not least, this in my hand is our, thank you, Mr. President. It's not complete just yet, but it is the progress chart for our competent leadership achievement. Right now it's in the process of being filled out. But I would like us, as a club, to set an audacious goal that when those names are filled out on there, we progress as quickly in competent leadership as we do in competent communication. So let's set that as a goal, because this is not Mimi's Cafe. This is our Leadership Learning Lab. So bring your competent leadership manual, set your experiments, review your results, and learn, because that's what we're all here for. At this point, I open the floor to any questions you may have about the Leadership Learning Lab here at Tampa Toastmasters. Brian.
Is there a critical path, if you know what I mean by that, where you can say exactly how many of each role you need to complete, the easiest way to complete the CL?
There absolutely is. So, in your CL manual, you'll see those projects, and you will also note which roles fill which projects, and just keep track. I don't know if you can see mine, Brian, but I have little check marks next to those things that I've completed. And it's always good to feel like you're making progress. But this is the confident, and Brian has to say, competent leadership manual, and of course once you complete that, that's not the end. There's always advanced leadership. So yes, Brian, there is a track. And in Toastmasters we refer to them as the communication track and leadership track. But I say again, these are not mutually exclusive. They are parallel fresh development efforts. So thank you. Yes?
In 1810, do you have officers or senior leaders who fill out the CL manual, or any member fill out another member's manual?
Here at 1810, there are no hard and fast rules. As long as you're a member in good standing, you're able to evaluate another member in a leadership role in the competent leadership manual. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
How long does it take to go from project 1 through project?
As long as you want it to take. Hopefully, if you're progressing at each meeting, you can make one of those check marks every week. But there is no formal timeline on completion. It's really up to the individual and how many experiments they want to run. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
All right. Roger.
Mary, are there any side effects for people conducting these experiments?
Well, yes, there are, Roderick, and they're all positive side effects. The side effects are, not only do you feel good about the checking the block and making progress, but all those folks around you, you're inspiring them to make progress as well. That's the side effect. Any other questions? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Are there some projects that are not typically done every week in Toastmasters that you need to sign up for it? And how difficult is it to do those?
That's a great question, and yes, there are projects that are in the leadership manual that are not on a typical meeting agenda, such as organizing a club contest or a special event, mentoring a member. Those are all leadership projects that fall outside of your typical meeting rules. So, are they difficult? Absolutely not. When there's a call for volunteers, be the first one to raise your hand and organize the next contest at Tampa Toastmasters. I think we're short on time.
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate your attention, and hope you enjoyed the Leadership Lab